why are you leaving your current job? What's your goal? I got a job offer. I said,
hello everybody, and welcome back to Lunch Hour English. But today it's more like brunch hour English because my dad is an early riser and I feel like breakfast is his specialty. So today we're having sausage and eggs and hash browns, all prepared by my dad. Thank you.
my pleasure. I love these breakfasts.
Should we dig in?
Get it while it's hot.
So Dad, can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
My name is Vince Anderson.
What do you do for work these days, Dad?
I'm a senior sales consultant for a rental property.
You've been doing property management for quite a while now.
About 9 years.
And you recently started working at a new complex, right?
I did. I made a jump, but I feel it was the best thing for me at that time. It was scary. It was uncharted waters, but I did it. So far, it's working out good. They haven't really turned me loose on my normal job duties yet.
What was it like changing careers for you at your age?
It can be a challenge getting your foot in the door even to get an interview.
Do you feel like you faced like ageism, discrimination because of your age at all during the process?
Maybe inadvertently, but a lot of your corporations now are so versed. They've been sued so many times. They've learned a lot of lessons on how to keep themselves out of that trouble. Prepare yourself for rejection. You're going to get rejected here and there. You can't stop. Stopping is not an option because I'm not retired. I need to still make money. I still need to pay bills. So you just keep grinding on until you find that perfect fit.
What made you leap jobs from your previous job to the job now?
I don't think I was unhappy. Bottom line, I was doing 3 jobs getting paid for 1. And I did that out of necessity for about 3 years just for the necessity of the property because I love the property, the people, the residents, everything. I loved it. But there comes a point where you're burned out.
So you were doing more than your job description?
Oh yeah, way more. I was managing property, I was leasing, I was doing maintenance supervisor work. Normally you have one person for each one of those jobs. And I did it for 3-4 years. It took me from this happy, positive person to, oh my gosh, I'm stressed, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, there's no time, you feel overwhelmed every day. And then I just told myself, I need one job. And I wasn't able to find it there at that company, so that's what prompted me to start checking out the job market.
Makes
and it worked
sense.
out good. It turned out a former boss of mine from years ago called me and offered me this job.
Nice.
So I went with it. Here we are again. And I told my boss, I only need this job for about 4 to 5 years. And then hopefully I can retire. And then life will slow down a bit. I hope. Maybe not. I'm not interested in climbing corporate ladders anymore, and I made that clear right up front.
When you were job hunting, do you have any specific memories? Something that really stuck out to you? It can be something good or something bad.
Maybe a negative one that I didn't feel good about is when I was moving from Tawas to Saginaw like 11, 12 years ago. I was diligently seeking a full-time job in Saginaw because the commute's too long. And I interviewed with a beverage distributor. It was kind of a sales position. You go out to all the restaurants and bars and sell them beverage. It really intrigued me. I liked it. They liked my resume and they called me in for an interview. The manager who interviewed me, he was kind of had pity on me that I'm an older guy.
Just his body language?
Yeah, his body language, his eyebrows like, oh, hi, Mr. Andrew. Hi, please sit down. You could tell it was just a superficial, artificial. And we got done with the interview and he cut it kind of short and he stood up and we were walking to the door and he patted me on the back. Okay, Mr. Anderson. Thanks for coming in. And I stopped and looked at him. I said, why don't you just tell me I didn't get the job? I didn't get the job, and that's okay. But that pat on the back was almost patronizing or, oh, look at the old boy, he's out in the job market trying to do his thing. You know, I mean, that's how I took it, and that could be way wrong. But just his whole demeanor during the interview and everything. So that was kind of a negative thing.
Yeah, it felt kind of belittling in a sense.
I would have rather they said, hey, we're looking for someone younger, but I understand they can't do that because now you might have a lawsuit on your hands. The good one was just this past one with my new boss. She was looking for a leasing agent and I was looking for a leasing agent. I called her and, oh, hey, did you run into any good candidates for leasing? And she's like, no, I can't find anybody and nobody's applying. And I said, I'm in the same boat. And I kind of cracked a joke. I said, hey, how about I come and lease for you? She took it serious. She's like, Vince, oh my gosh, it'd be great to work with you again. Laughed it off. I kept thinking about it. I worked with her before. We worked great. Let me interview and see what they have to offer. So I went and interviewed. So that was kind of a positive one. All of a sudden, this joke turned into a real thing.
That's good that you put yourself out there.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. Word of mouth sometimes is the best. It worked out great in that instance. So far, so good.
Good. Can I ask you a little bit about the interview process? Any certain questions they asked you, how you answered it, anything like that?
It's a big company that I work for, so they have policies that they follow. But it all starts with me going online, applying, and then they acknowledge that they have my resume, my credentials, everything like that. You get an email saying, hey, welcome aboard, blah, 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 we want you to interview. So they set up an interview, and there were 3 people in the room, and that was the first interview. So we got through that one, I assume good. And then I got another call from their human resource director at corporate. They wanted to set up a time for an interview. Obviously, we had to do it virtually. And I said, hey, I have a Friday off anytime during that day. So they said, okay, how about 12 noon? I said, great, I'll be there. So 12 noon, I got my dress shirt on and everything, and nobody was there. Did I get my dates wrong? Started second guessing myself. They called me and said, we're very sorry, we're having technical issues. Can we reschedule for later today? I said, yeah. I said, if you just want to shoot me a text, and we'll do the interview. I got tired of waiting, so I went out and started cutting a tree down. All of a sudden they called, and I'm all sweaty at this point. I've got t-shirt full of sawdust and all this stuff, and so I didn't want to miss it though. This is my one shot, so I ran in the house, took my nasty, sweaty, sawdust-filled t-shirt off, put on a nice dress shirt, combed my hair, sat down. Okay, there I interviewed with 2 people from corporate. They were asking me all kinds of questions about why are you leaving your current job? What's your goals? I said, I want to dig in and contribute to this company best I can for the next 4 to 5 years maybe, and then I want to retire. And they said, okay. And I think they like that because nowadays they get so much turnaround so fast. Someone's there for 6 months, a year, and they're gone. So they were happy to hear that. I just wanted them to know up front what my intentions are. They asked me, how long were you at this job? They couldn't believe it. You're the property manager, yes. And you do the leasing, yes. And you're the maintenance supervisor, yes.
Too many job titles.
I said, I want to get into a place where I can dedicate my time and energy into one job.
Right, makes sense.
So yeah, the interview process went well, and then following Monday, I got a job offer sent to me. I was happy and nervous. I'm like, oh boy.
All the emotions.
Yeah, because all that happened so fast. Now I have to put a 2-week notice in, or do I even want to jump jobs?
You start second guessing
you
yourself.
start thinking about it all, and then I just kept telling myself, stay the course. It's time for a change. Don't let your fears get in your way. Went in, put my 2-week notice in, and they didn't accept it right away. They were looking to counteroffer or whatnot, and I made it known to them that it's time for me to move on. They accepted my 2-week notice, and
I think it's really brave. I know it's scary for anybody to change careers.
to me it's survival mode. Can't stay here. You got to go there. All right, survival mode kicks in, and you just go into overdrive and don't stop until you get a job.
Do you have any advice for somebody that's looking to change jobs, especially at a later time in their life?
Don't think you can't. You have more to contribute than what you will give yourself credit for.
That's good.
Yeah, just don't be afraid.
A large part of your career has been in sales, because I remember growing up, you were a car salesman. Now you're doing leasing for apartments. Can you give some advice on how to sell yourself, convince people that you're right for the job?
I guess honesty is the biggest thing. Be genuine, be honest, because people will see that and they gravitate to it.
So honesty is the best policy.
Honesty, yeah, just be genuine, just be transparent, be upfront, and that you never have to lie.
That's good advice.
You know, worked for me, I guess.
So you mentioned that you want to retire in 4 or 5 years, hopefully. So I'm just wondering, do you have any plans after retirement, or something that you want to do after you retire?
I'll have to stay busy somehow, because I've been busy my entire life. I've always wanted to get into some type of broadcasting. When I was in high school, a senior in high school, they had media production and broadcasting, and I took that class, and it sparked an interest in me. Life happened, so now maybe when I have a little more time, I could maybe dabble in that area. I guess news. I love current events. Maybe a podcast someday.
Maybe a podcast or definitely a podcast?
I'll say maybe for now.
No, you're supposed to say definitely because you're doing it for us.
Definitely.
We'd love for you to do a few episodes of your own podcast on our channel.
Are you sure you want me to? I'm a rookie.
But you're very well spoken.
I'll try not to embarrass you too much.
Just don't tell stories of me when I was young.
Oh, now there's a podcast all by itself.
Oh no, what have I done? My dad is really good with his communication skills and he's interested in news. He always knows what's going on in America. So I think you can learn a lot from him. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments what you would want to hear about from my dad. So how was the interview this morning?
It was pleasant. I got to eat breakfast and have coffee.
Wow, I thought you were going to say you like spending time with your daughter.
That too.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Lunch Hour English. Check out the pinned comment below. I will see you all next time. Bye!